Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Alright, so that's today's harvest. That's the largest zucchini squash down there on the bottom. So I got 5 squash that I picked and 4 zucchini, and there's several more squash and zucchini out there that are probably be ready tomorrow or the next day. So I've still got some in the refrigerator. I gave my sister a bunch because she loves squash and zucchini like I do. And there's a lot of early peas that I'll be picking later this evening. So I let the chickens out and free range a little bit yesterday. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it again today. They enjoy it. I do worry about them, going too far. But I didn't mess with them last night. I just left the gate open till about 10 after 8. And they all came right back on their own, and they were all on the roof. So I'm going to allow them out, and they'll scratch around and eat some of the grass and weeds. I need to cut grass, but it's just too wet. It's too wet to cut it. So I'm not going to do it right now. Hopefully I can get it done this week. But anyway, I have not even been in there. I guess I could go in and see how many eggs there are. It's early afternoon. It is, I'm guessing, around 2:30. That should be about right. Let's see if there's any eggs in here. Alrighty. Hey, there's me. And there's my shirt today. My hope is in the Lamb of God. Uh-oh. Looks like there was an egg there that got broke. But that's alright. That's just a barnyard mix hen. Alright, well, I can see a green one on the ground right there. Every now and then I get one on the ground. Don't know why. There's 3 nesting boxes, and they've got plenty of room to get in there and lay. But looks like more eggs than it really is. You see these with the black dot I put on each hen? Those are ceramic or artificial eggs I put in here to try to stop them from pecking at them and breaking them. And there's 1 in there, 2 in here, and 1 in there. So I see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 eggs in the middle pen. And I think there's 14 hens over here. 13? Yeah, 13 hens over here. So 11 from 13 hens, and it's only about 2:30 to 3 o'clock. That's not a bad day. And she tried to lay one. It looked like it broke. So let's see what the Rhode Island Reds look like. I have to go in there because I took the straw out, and I got their rollaway boxes because they were pecking them too. So let's just go in there and look. I'm not going to gather them right now. I'm just curious as to how they're doing. They sure make a mess. All right, I see one right there. There's 2 on that side and none over here. So 2 eggs from 11 hens so far, when there's, what, 10 on the other side? That's probably all there's going to be today. That's a shame. I told my daughter yesterday or this morning, I can't remember which, but I told her, I said, I've got to buy me another fish fryer, deep fryer, because I used the regulator off the one that I had, and that's what I used to boil a big pot of water to scald my, the chickens after you butcher them, or when you butcher them, when you kill them off. You dip them in there before you run them through the plucker and pull all the feathers out. Look at this, y'all. They usually come up here toward the swing first. They're all down at that end today, but that's fine. But anyway, after you've cut their head in the cone and let them drain for a few minutes, you take them by the feet and you dip them in that scalding water for about 30 seconds. And then you pick it up, take it out, and then you go over to the plucker and let the plucker pull the feathers out. And it works really, really well. You do need a pair of gloves on, just in case you get that scalding water on you. And that plucker will get you if you get too close to it. So, all right. I mentioned it. I still haven't edited the video that y'all should see Monday. If I don't get it edited, you'll see this Monday. If I do, you'll see this Tuesday. But I still have not pulled the rest of these potatoes. I just think there's a little bit too much green there. Some of them could use pulling. But I did a post today. Tell y'all what I did with all the potatoes and the couple carrots that I pulled. And I went and pulled one of the medium-sized onions. And it was good. It wasn't rotten at all. So I was pleased with that. I cut it all up and put it in my crock pot with a 2.5 pound beef chuck roast and turned it on high because this is after church Sunday. I ended up doing both services and was there quite a bit longer, and then went shopping after, and then went to my daughter, my oldest daughter, and her husband. It's Mother's Day, but it's also his birthday. So my son-in-law turned 40 today. He's not real happy about it, but I told him it's better than the alternative. But anyway, there's still a lot of squash in here, guys. And that's just this 3x6 bed in the back. And I could pick some of those, but they're not quite as big as I'd like them to be. There's a ton of them still in there. So as big as those onions look on top, I picked the one from right here. It's about that size. And that's a medium-sized onion, but it appears that about half the onion, if not a little less than half, is down in the ground. So what you see is what it's going to be. Anyway, I picked it, and it's a good-sized onion. So I'm thinking about coming out here and picking the larger onions that are in here and leaving the smaller ones, and then I can wash them off with the hose and then lay them up across that kennel that I've got under the lean-to on the mini barn here. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Most of y'all lay them out and run a fan on them to dry them out and all that. So what I was thinking, what I'm thinking is, I don't have a rack set up for all that, but I could move these rain catchment barrel lids and that straw and just lay them across the top of that big kennel that's there, and you know, that'll let some air flow through and help them dry out. And I can leave them there for a few days till they dry out a little bit, and maybe that'll make them store longer. But since it was Mother's Day weekend and my son-in-law's birthday, I didn't get the boys this weekend, neither one of them or both. But next time they come, I want to get them to, one of them to help me put this up, because I need to be on the outside of the building when I screw the board in place. And I want to raise them up off the ground. They're too close. I want to raise them up a little bit, so I need to move those boards. So I need someone inside to hold the boards in place while I screw them in from the outside of the metal wall. So I want to get that put up. And of course, I think Reed left me the heart and the high on my Fat Moto bike. But anyway, so I was thinking of this thing, about this tractor earlier. Guys, I am not a mechanic, and I don't know a lot about tractors and all that, but I don't know what that lever does right there. This is a 1953 Harry Furguson. Apparently, Massey bought Harry out in June of 1953, and they became Massey Ferguson, and Harry was responsible for, you know, the tractors before that, and this is a Harry Furguson. It is a gas-powered tractor. I've got a new fuel bowl and stuff for it, but I'm wondering what that does, because when my nephew and I were using the tractor over at my sister's, I was dragging a dirt pan. He was actually the one on the tractor. It just quit. The hydraulics just stopped. It quit lifting. all at one time. So I'm not sure what that is. Does that engage the PTO, or is that just the amount of flow to the back for the lift? I just don't know. Let me get around here. So there's a dipstick over here for measuring the fluid. But I'm just wondering, it's way over full, or way up that dipstick anyway. And it looked like clean. It looked pretty clean. But anyway, my brother tells me to take the side off this thing and get all the old hydraulic oil out of it, and the sludge that builds up over years and years. And as old as this tractor is, I'm sure there's a lot in there. He said, if you get all that out and then put fresh hydraulic fluid in it, he said, I bet you that hydraulic could go back to working. And I'm like, well, I'm not a mechanic, Trimming. You know, that's not something that I do. But I was told when I bought this tractor that the brakes didn't work. Well, that wasn't actually true. The brakes worked fine. What's wrong with it is the seals on the inside right here are leaking hydraulic fluid onto the brakes. So the brakes work, but they're not grabbing because of the hydraulic fluid. So, and it was leaking back here also. Now I replaced the outside seal on here and it stopped leaking. So the PTO doesn't leak anymore. But the brake, you have to take the tires off and all that to change that seal. I do have them, but that's why the brakes don't work like they're supposed to, because it's got hydraulic fluid all over them. But other than that, I just don't know much about tractors, and I've had this one a long time. I used it. It's a strong 30 horse tractor. This thing is way stronger than that Yanmar that I had. Yanmar was 4-wheel drive and 30 horse. This is just 2-wheel drive and 30 horse, and the tires and all were filled with water. So this thing would pull that 2-row bottom plow in this ground out here, and I ain't gonna say make it look easy, but it'd pull it. That Yanmar would not pull it. So even though it's 4-wheel drive, it wouldn't pull it. So I'd like to get this thing back running, and I may do what my brother suggests and take the plates off the side of here and try to get all the old hydraulic oil out of it. I see there's some, I don't know if that's bolts or drain holes down there, but there's got to be a drain in it somewhere. Drain all that old fluid and stuff out, and then take a cover off and try to clean as much as I can out from the inside. And maybe that hydraulics, the hydraulics would go back to working. But I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I don't want to be a mechanic, but I can do some things. So that may be something that I work on in the, I say near future, not too far away. But I'd like to get this old tractor back going so I'll have a running tractor on the homestead again. As far as cranking and all that, I don't think it'll be a big problem, because like I say, the fuel bowl that was there was cracked. It was cracked when I bought it, and it just dripped a little bit. It didn't stop it from running. But I want to clean out the fuel tank, clean out the fuel lines, get the new fuel bowl put on it. And I had already replaced the solenoid and the points and stuff over here. I'll probably clean all that up again. But it runs really, really good when it's running. And this is a strong tractor to be as old as it is. It's way heavier than the Yanmar 30 horse was. So I think that's why it would pull that plow, because it has enough weight to it that when it hits a hard spot, it'll break through it. With a Yanmar, just sit there and spin. So, all right. Leo decided to come home. He wasn't here this morning, so I gave him plenty of food for him and his girlfriend and her kitten, and see if they come over and eat. But look at him. He's just laying out here with the chickens. He don't care. He'll take him a nap wherever he can. So I'm going to take these squash and zucchini in the house and wash them off and get them put in the fridge. And I'll collect the eggs later, but so far there's 12 in there, guys, and that's about what I've been getting. I did have a 16 or 17 day. I think the 4th day after I got that other feed, I had a 16 or 17 day. And then I had another little bitty day, and then I got another like 14 or 15 day. So the black sex links and the Easter eggers, there's 2 Easter eggers right here and a black sex link. Maybe it's 2 black sex links. I can't, nope, that's the Easter egger right there. That one. That one I think is the Easter egger. It might be a black sex link, but anyway, I know the gray one, Easter egger. They have been laying really good. I'm getting 4, 5, 6 colored eggs a day, and then the black sex links are laying anywhere from 1 to 4 a day. So I'm gonna get inside and see. Look there, Sparky will lay there and let them chickens cross over his limit. You see the ring in the ground, that's his limit for his cable. He'll let them cross over that limit. He fools them because he can go further than that limit. He goes out to here, and he'll let them cross over that limit, and then he'll stalk them and take off after them, and they'll raise a sand and fly back toward the pen. But anyway, so far he hasn't hurt one of them, and anytime he's ever got loose, he's never went and tried to go through the fence to get the chickens. So I'm gonna let them run the rest of the day. They'll get about a good 5 hours of free range scratching, and makes them happy, and it helps me with bug control. So guys, I thank y'all for, let me turn this around. That sun's blinding me. I thank y'all for following, subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, all that stuff, and leave me a comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to walk over to the shade, but that helps the YouTube algorithm suggest my channel more. And I've done a couple of shorts. I think I did one yesterday, and then I did that post today. I'm trying to post more without just videos, but you know, more shorts and stuff to hopefully get Waters Family Homestead out there to where more people will see it and will click on the videos, and hopefully gain a few subscribers and get some watch time as well. So y'all look at the hens there. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.